So here's a question from Ryan, who asked on Patreon for more information on the West Coast earthquakes, in particular Spokane, Washington, or Spokane. People say it differently. So I'm not sure what I said that wasn't enough, but I'm just going to kind of summarize what I've seen. So it came down to being up in the northwest corner. Okay. I thought I was in Washington State, Western Washington State. I have no idea where Spokane is, if it's east, west, north, or south. But what I saw was just the first vision was just the earth rippling like water. And I was like, oh dear. The second thing was this awareness that there had been a serious earthquake, serious, and that it came either from right at the edge of the water or actually in the water and had rippled across. It had rippled in a lot of directions, but had rippled across all the way to and maybe even through the mountains of, I think those are the Cascade Mountains, and into like Montana and Wyoming. So those were the impressions that I saw, and the kind of intuition of, oh, this is coming from the edge of the water. And I wasn't sure that if that was the edge of the water on the land or the edge of the water before it got to the land, but it created some havoc. So that, there's no way that I can say how far north it went or how far south, because I really wasn't paying attention to that. I think somebody wrote and said, when you see Earth moving like that, that's liquefaction. That's not a good thing. So that's a big, strong, long-term earthquake. That's pretty powerful. And the soil, literally the topsoil, and the crust it starts to act like water. If that occurs, things can sink. They can sink quite a ways, sometimes a little bit, a few feet, sometimes a whole lot. But, there's no way that I can say that you're safe or you're not safe, because I didn't have a sense of timing, except that it was fairly close, like within the next few months or even the next year. So that's as much as I can say about that earthquake. And that really wasn't the only earthquake that I was seeing. There were others I just didn't mention. We're coming into a time where the earth is really shake, rattle, and rolling. And there's, we don't know where it's going to shake up the worst or the least. And so it's kind of an intuition thing. It's kind of a luck of the draw thing. So, heads up, eyes open, keep your antenna up.
Okay, the confusion that I have is in the T where Sarah was asking about it. And you were saying that there was an earthquake that was going down, I think maybe as low as I can't remember if it was San Diego or San Francisco, and then it was shooting up the West Coast. And some of the people in the Northern California, that's what about that one?
That was not San Diego. Okay. San
Okay.
Diego's down by Mexico. I do know a little of the geography, but the thing that I saw was that the north of San Francisco and then northward from there was where I saw some earth movement. And it even looked like some volcano action, which I didn't like. But that was actually a separate earthquake.
Okay.
So there's more than one that may happen. And I'm sure that's not what people want to hear, but it was the northern portion of California and up through Oregon and into Washington, even into North, Canada, British Columbia. That was a different earthquake. So
Okay, what are the time frames on the two different ones?
they looked like they were fairly close. That was the shock for me. There
Like
was,
within the next
I
year?
thought, yeah, I thought maybe the next few months. Um, it looked like, I mean, it could settle down. It could, fingers crossed there. But I thought the one that was hitting Northern California and going north. And I remember now that you mention it, Sarah asking, I want my husband to move or we need to get out of here and he won't go. It's like, well, then that's his fate. If you want to stay with him, it'll become your fate. But if you want to leave, then tell the universe, put me someplace that's safe when all of this is going down. You just, maybe you need to go visit the veterinarian and take your dog in, and that's 50 miles away, and that 50 miles makes a difference. So, but it looked like the one that that affected Northern California up through all the way to Washington State and British Columbia, that I thought was first. And then the other one was like, whoa, that was a big one.
The rippling one.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So some shakeups there, some big shakeups. So
And what kind of consciousness could we use to make some changes? Talk to Mother Earth?
I think not only talk to Mother Earth, but talk to the self. Where do I need to be? What is it I need to be aware of? People are so afraid of death. There really is no death. If you leave here, you're going to end up somewhere else with yourself. and maybe you'll have to make some adjustments and start over or learn some new things or deal with some different people or family who has already passed to the other side, but there's no death. That's yes, the issue is leaving behind the people you love, and that includes not just people but your animals, your house, your trinkets, your artwork, all your favorite things. Those, we love those things. Those have meaning for us. The thing that you have to do in order to prepare for the kind of challenges that we have coming, and those include earth changes and war, you have to detach. You have to get yourself ready. You have to say to yourself, it'll be okay. People leave all the time. And, maybe I don't want to leave, but if that's my time, I'm ready.
Okay,
So
one more thing that you had mentioned before was uh, if somebody was meant to stay in a specific position because they're going to help afterwards, and would they be safe in the position that they're at, the
typically
location?
they would survive. It might not be comfortable. They might suffer all of the issues that the survivors suffer, disruption of food, water, housing, whatever. All of that disruption would be theirs. But if they're here to help reorganize, that's such a gift. Oh my gosh, it is a huge gift. And what happens when that occurs, when there is some big disruption, the best comes out of most people. And so those who are here to help know it at that moment. And they are like, I have to do something. I need to help. I need to go here and, work with these or fix that. There's people here that are here to help with every level of change. And that includes, other adults who suddenly become like helpless children or organizing teens who are amazingly resilient. Teens and young people, oh my gosh, they are going to be the saviors of this whole transition thing. And they have just enough sass to think that they're immune, and they will be. And then there's animals and, cows and dogs and cats and all kinds of things.
So once again, just be open to messages coming to you, like you said before, of if you need to be someplace else for whatever frame of time.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you came here to be of service to help in that way, I'm just going to say thank you. Thank you. If we don't have the big uproar, big shakeup, then you can relax and just enjoy life. Stay in the moment with one eye on the future, one eye on what you cannot see, but you're ready for everything.
And talk to Mother Earth.
Yeah. Talk to Mother Earth, talk to the sun.
Mm.
The sun is the trigger for earthquakes. So, and we have a big coronal hole coming around right now. Today is July 11th. It's Friday. That coronal hole is going to be facing us this weekend. Typically, there are big earthquakes this is like the mother of all coronal holes. It's huge, huge. I'm like, oh, holy cow. Yeah. When you see the kind of energy coming off the sun and out of those holes, it's, makes you feel kind of small. So it's an amazing world how it works. And that's the part of that relationship between sun and earth is part of the healing mechanism that keeps things being renewed and refreshed all the time. Count on that renewal and that refreshment and get out of rigid ruts.
And get outside and touch the earth because it
Yep.
helps you.
Yeah. Yeah. You can talk to Mother Earth and say, look, we have a big shakeup. Would you just kind of be quiet right here where I am? And maybe my daughter and my son, and, ask for what you want and what you need. Those big bodies, they're listening. They have a big consciousness. So they're alive just like you, just like me.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.